Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to another tutorial video. I am the Ultra Farmer, and in today's quick guide, we're going to be talking about Lime within the base game of Farming Simulator 25. This is going to be the same for all platforms, so it doesn't matter if you're on PC, console, all these tips and tricks will be for you. We're going to be talking about how to apply Lime, when you should be applying Lime, and kind of the three different stages of Lime that your field can have on it, and how that affects yield bonus. So if you're new to the game, or if you've been playing for a while and you're still just trying to understand liming, this is going to be the video for you. So let's get into it and let's start talking about lime. Okay, so let's first go through what I got kind of set up for us out here on these fields. So I have three fields kind of set across here. All of these fields need lime. So if I come up here, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's telling us it's 0% fertilized, it's a harvested wheat field, and it needs lime. What I've done now here is I've taken each of the different types of implements for soil cultivation and I've drugged them across the field, and we're going to spread lime across there just to see if there's any that you can't spread lime on. We'll go through that little test, and then afterwards what I'm going to do with these three fields is I'm going to set them into their three different stages of lime. So if you didn't really know that, lime basically, once it's laid down, it kind of deteriorates over time. So you start with the 3 stage, then after you harvest and you grow something, and harvest that, it'll go down to a 2. You grow something again, you harvest it, it'll go down to a 1. And every 3 times you will need to, your little symbol will come up and it'll tell you that you need lime. And that affects yield bonus. Basically what it's simulating is lime. The reason it's spread across a field is to balance the pH level. It brings, your soil can become very acidic when you're spraying fertilizer on it. From rainwater and stuff can affect the acidity of the field, and the pH balances that. It's a basic content or a basic substance that helps balance the pH. So over time, that level drops, and the more acidity that gets added to the field, it changes the composition. So that's why you actually add lime to a field. But we're going to kind of go through that, and I'll show you how it affects yield bonus. Now, let's just jump into the menu real quick. So for me, that's pushing escape on my keyboard. I'm going to come into settings. And if you don't want to play with lime on, you can come right on down to crops and growth, and you can change the settings. You can turn lime off and you don't have to worry about it whatsoever. I have all the other settings off, turned off just for this tutorial, but we have lime turned on. And that's why we're getting that little notice every 3 harvests. It's going to pop up, but you can just turn it off right here. Now, within the base game, there's really only one unit where you can spread lime across the field, and that's this implement that I have hooked to the back of this tractor. So if you want to come into the stores, for me that's pushing P on my keyboard. I'm going to come in here, and you just got to scroll down. You're going to come down past trailers, past soil cultivation. This is everything that I have laid out on the field, other than stone pickers. Past seeders, and the way you find lime spreaders is actually under the fertilizing spreading tab. So you come in here. Now each of these units in the base game, all 4 of these, will spread fertilizer. That's the little symbol for fertilizer. And this is the only unit that will spread lime. You can see it's got this little kind of white triangle with a rock on it. That's your lime symbol. So if you want to spread, or if you need to spread lime on your field, this is the only unit you can use in base game. Now, there's probably mods out. There's probably a ton of mods out, depending when you're watching this, where you can get different units like this that'll spread lime, or smaller ones. So just go take a look. They'll be on all platforms, so it won't be specific to PC or anything. And then once you get your spreader, the way you find lime is it's actually under the consumables category. And so you come in here and you can get lime in a couple different forms. You can get it in this pallet form. So it's 450 bucks. You get 2,000 liters. You can see that's that little symbol again. Or you can get it in a bag form. It really doesn't matter. You know, it's both 2,000 liters. They're both 450 bucks. Again, within the base game, there is no liquid lime. There could be mods that come out in the future. Maybe they're out right now, but for the most part, lime you're going to find in a solid state. And the only other way you can get lime is if you can set down one of these silos on your farm. If you're finding that you need a whole bunch of bulk lime, you can set down this silo and then you can come into it and you can fill it with lime. It costs money, but then you can have a bulk form kind of at your farm. And to set these down, for me, I'm going to go into the build mode. So you can do that a couple ways, but I'm just going to come back into my store and I'm going to come down to this little 3-line tab on the side here, and you can come into construction. And so in there, you'll be on this shed one. It'll be more like this. It'll be sheds, and you just scroll over till you find containers. And this is where you're going to have different silos that you can fill with different products. So this is a stainless steel fertilizer tank. This one is a fillable lime tank. So if I click on this, that's the one right there. You can set it down fill it with lime. And you can do this with seed, liquid fertilizer, and all that stuff. But that's the ways to get lime, and that's how you spread it on the field. So let's start getting into our testing here, and I'll kind of show you how it spreads across different soil prep. Okay, so really what I wanted to show you was just an example of basically every type of field prep that you can do. I also wanted to show you what a field looks like when it's just been seeded. So what I've done here is this field right now has been seeded, but it hasn't been rolled. This field down at the end here, I seeded it and I rolled it with wheat. And I'm just going to show you that you can spread lime on any state all the way up until it has been like planted and rolled out before it's hit to its first growth stage. So if we turn on our spreader right now and we come across this field that we've got just planted with wheat, all these different types of field cultivation, whether it's the plows, the harrows, the cultivators, the subsoilers, the mulchers, the spader, all that stuff. This is a field that hasn't been done anything. It was just harvested. And then now we have this part of the field that has been, it's been cultivated, it's been planted, it's been rolled. And if you come back, there's two ways to check to see if your field has got the lime state kind of like checked off. And so right here where we haven't done anything, obviously it still says needs lime. And you can just walk onto these different parts of the field. Now it doesn't need lime. If we come over to where it's just been harvested, no need for lime. Here's the spader. Here's the mulcher, the subsoiler, the power harrows, the disc harrows, the cultivator, and the plow. All these areas now do not say that it needs lime. And it also goes here where it's just been seeded, not rolled. It does not need lime. Now there's another way to check this. And what you can do is you can come into your map. You can come over to your soil compositions. And if you look, if we scroll right in, you can see we have two different colors here. Now right over here we have lime checked off, needs lime. So if I uncheck that, it doesn't give us any type of soil composition. But if I click it, it now tells us that the rest of this field needs lime, and everywhere that we've spread across does not. So it doesn't matter what type of soil cultivation you do across a field, or if you don't do anything and you just try and spread it on a harvested field, you will be able to take away that lime state. You can also do it on a planted field and a planted field that is rolled. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these fields sleep through. I'm going to let them get one set of growth stage on. Some different crops you're able to spread when there is a growth stage on it, and some different crops, like all the crops have different like levels of growth stage. For example, a wheat field has 8 different stages of growth. If I come up to this field, you're not going to see this because I have a specific mod on, but if I look down where it says needs lime, right above that it says growth, and it says 1 out of 8, which means it's planted. That's its first state. If I sleep through, it'll then say 2 out of 8. And now each crop is a little bit different. I'm not going to put every different crop on to show you those stages. That's not really the point of this, but we're going to sleep through, and then I'm going to show you that you're able to spread it on the first stage of wheat. Some crops are going to be different. You're going to have to just test with what's on your farm. Honestly, the best time to spread lime is either before you plant, right after you've harvested, or right after you've planted. But let's sleep through one stage and I'll kind of show you how this looks. Okay, so I'm back in our tractor here. I'm just going to kind of pull up to a part of the field that that we definitely did not spread lime on before. And I guess we can double check this where our tractor is on the field. We're still in this kind of like turquoise, greenish blue area. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn our spreader on. We're going to kind of come across this spot. We might as well just drive right across this field. Obviously, again, you can see that a cultivated field or a harvested field, you can just spread right across. Now let's come over to this field that we had just planted, and you'll see that you're still able to get a lime state off this first stage of growth. So now if we turn this thing off and we come back in, you can see it's letting us spread lime even though it's grown its first stage, or through its second stage rather. See, if I jump back out, it tells us it's 2 out of 8 on its growth. Now again, this is going to change for the different crops. You're not going to be able to just do it all the way up till it's ready to be harvested. Some crops you can go a little bit further on in their growth cycles and still be spreading lime. I would suggest, though, like I said, the best time to kind of do it, just do it right after you've harvested, or right after you've planted, or right after you've pulled some sort of field cultivation across your field. One thing to note too, I have wide tires on this tractor. Now this first growth stage, it's fine. But if you're pulling this unit across different growth stages with wide tires and the crop destruction is on, you definitely run the risk of wrecking parts of your field. So again, the best time to do it is right after you harvest, or right after you plant, or right before you plant. Okay, and so the final thing that I want to kind of show you guys is the different states of lime. Now, when you spread lime across the field, you're not going to really, it's not going to tell you that it's in its third state or its second state or its first state. And that's what I have set up here. This field, I've simulated that we just sprayed lime on it, and then we planted over top of it, and it has 3 levels of lime on it. This one I've simulated that, we did the lime, then we grew a set of crops, we harvested it, and we've planted again, so now it's on its second stage. And this one over here, it's kind of the third one of that. So we did lime, we did growth, harvested, planted again, growth, harvested, and now it's on its first state. And what that's going to do is it's going to affect your yield bonus. So if you've ever been like working a field and you're like, sometimes I get like 90% yield bonus and sometimes I'm like getting down into the 80s and I'm doing the same stuff and I don't understand why. Well, it's probably because of your lime. So if I come up to this field right now, it's telling me I have a 52% yield bonus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Power Tools menu. Now this is a mod for PC only. So if you're on PC, you can get this mod, and it just allows you to kind of mess with the fields and set them to whatever you want. But I'm going to just kind of show you. So right now what we have is we have wheat. It's in its invisible growth state, so it's just been planted. My ground type is a seed bed, just like it's shown right here, just exactly what it would look like if you planted it. We don't have any fertilizer on it. So I'm going to put some fertilizer on it. I'm going to put it to a second state. So we're going to get both stages of our fertilizer on there. We've got a plow level, and we have 3 levels of lime. So this means that we just limed this field. It's freshly been plowed and everything, and we're going to hit apply. Now what that's going to do is it brings our yield bonus up to 97%. Now the reason that it's not at 100 is because the game, to get to the 100% yield bonus on a wheat field, what we would need to do is mulch after, and that's going to actually give you an extra 2.5% yield bonus. So technically this yield bonus would be at 97.5. If we had mulched it, it would give us that extra 2.5, and that would put us at 100. So without mulching, you're basically at your max level of yield bonus. So it's at a 97%. So let's come over to this field, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in here. We're going to set this field. We're going to do the same thing. It's on seed bed. It's on wheat. It's on its first stage of growth. We're going to put some fertilizer on it. We're going to put 2, but our lime level is now at 2. So we've planted, we've harvested off this field, we replanted, and our lime is kind of down a state. And if I hit apply, now you're going to see that the yield bonus has dropped down to 95%. And so let's do the final thing. Let's run over to this field. And let's bring it down. Let's bring our lime level down to number 1. So I'm going to come back into my field options. All the settings are the same. The wheat, it's invisible, no stones. The seed bed is a ground type. Our spray level, let's put some fertilizer on this. Let's give it 100% fertilized. But now our lime level is down to its first stage. And so let's apply this. Let's jump back out, and you can see your yield bonus has dropped down to 87%. And that's just the different stages of lime. So if we were to harvest this field, if we were to let it grow through and harvest, what would then happen is the lime notification would kick on, and it would tell us we need to put some lime on this field. And again, what that's symbolizing, or what that's simulating, is the acidity level of this field has just gotten more and more over all its growth cycles. From us adding fertilizer and from it raining, and maybe there's a bit of acid in the rain, it changes the soil composition and it kind of makes it a little acidic. And so that's why you got to spread lime. You got to put a basic substance down to balance the pH level, which will make your crops grow better. It's better for the nitrogen. It adds magnesium and stuff to the field, and makes your crops grow better. So that's a little understanding of lime, and that's basically how it works. And I hope that helps. I hope that helps you understand, when to spread, how it affects yield bonuses, and just basically lime in general. So if you like this video, if there's anything that I missed, make sure and leave it in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, I really appreciate it if you could hit that sub, hit that notification bell, so when I have more of these tutorials come out, you can see them in live time. If you want to check out some of my gameplay series, I'll link them kind of in the video description below. You can see different aspects of the gameplay where I put lime into practice. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it like always. This is Ultra Farmer. I am out. Hopefully you guys have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.